Welcome to YUBEL Battlegrounds. It's literally just a format where I play YUBEL. I'm creative, thank you, I know. Anyways, there's also something implemented that makes it a little bit more fun to watch, but you will find out. Not only will I show you a lot of games, no, after each game I will talk about it. For example, my mistakes, what's good in the matchup in general, stuff like that. With all that being said, let's learn together.
Sprout some Sara Lotus! I'll show you who I am. The true me. I link summon a monster! Come, Grave Squirmer! I fusion summon a monster! My pain is yours. I draw!
First game immediately against Tenpai, and I immediately knew that because he let me go first. In the current meta, you know by that, alright, it's Tenpai. We don't talk about the one Sky Striker player here. And I was very happy about it, especially after Phantom of YUBEL. Our matchup is pretty great against them. Don't forget, Phantom of YUBEL's negation works under their field spell, which can put them in a pretty bad situation, since they are not used to the opponent being able to interact with the dragons in the main phase. As sad as that sounds. And Samsara also works under the field spell. Pair all of that with the Griffin and Yama in the graveyard and it's borderline unbreakable for Tenpai. By the way, I think he negated my Beckoning Beast because he was afraid that I may be running Djinbuster still. Which isn't really the case, but at least it makes the Ash Blossom a little bit more understandable. That's still something I noticed a lot during my playtime. A lot of people try to negate Beckoning Beast, the normal summon in general, thinking that's a choke point. Which isn't really the case. I mean, the only point in which Beckoning Beast or the normal summon is a choke point is when the rest of the hand is bad anyways, and in that moment, anything is a choke point.
My sweet suffering, all my sorrow. I share them with you. Let's duel! I draw! Come, Grave Squirmer! The true me. I exceed summon a monster! Samsara Lotus's effect activates. I fusion summon a monster! I link summon a monster!
He surprised me by going first, which, if you think about it, it's fine to try. I mean, even though it was a gamble, Fenrir and or Seals combined with a lot of non-engine is pretty hard to beat, and maybe in that moment for him it was the better choice than to try to deal with the Griffin Endbot again. I think it's okay to at least try it, and I gambled a little bit too with my Ghost Ogre. My Ghost Ogre basically was my way to deal with Seals. You need 2 dragon monsters for Seals, and the only way Tenpai dragons can get another dragon to the field is by having one already on the field. For me, the Ogre on the Pydra meant no Seals, but be careful doing that since it can be punished quite hard. For me, luckily, it worked. I had to play a little bit weird since I'm well aware of the fact that Tenpai plays a lot of non-engine, and I knew of the Cosmic he probably wanted to use on the Nightmare Pain. That's the reason why I made Varudras quite early, but after he activated Cosmic on my Nightmare Pain, I looked at my Varudras, at my cards in general, and then at his cards, and I thought to myself, what if I don't negate Cosmic? I can just negate the Kaiman on the field and save the second negate for his turn, so he really can't do anything. I mean, he has 2 cards in hand and that's just not enough to beat the endboard, so I basically put him in the losing position.
True me. I fusion summon a monster! I activate my continue spell. Come, Grave Squirmer! Draw!
Voiceless Voice, probably one of the better decks if you really underestimate it. If they can go full combo, it's very hard to beat to almost impossible if they have a lot of hand traps. There's one thing I want to mention here. If you open Nightmare Throne in combination with any other combo possibility, you can start by activating Nightmare Throne to pop the Spirit and then to get the OG YUBEL to the field. That way you can access Phantom of YUBEL before committing into any of your main YUBEL combo. One tip I can give you here is that you can just leave the OG YUBEL on the field, and before you fuse into Phantom of YUBEL, you can just normal summon Lotus to scout for Imperm on the Lotus. If they decide to Imperm the Lotus, you can just link away the OG YUBEL and Lotus into Muckraker, then go into the Phantom of YUBEL, Reborn Lotus, and you can play from there. That way you saved one Phantom of YUBEL. By the way, for some reason that dude used his Veiler as if he knew what cards are in my hand. If he used Veiler on the Spirit, I already had Nightmare Pain in hand, so that wouldn't have done anything. If he used Veiler on Lotus, I could have just linked into Muckraker and play from there, but for some reason, I don't know why, bro has the Millennium Eye, he decided to use the Veiler on the Yama, the only thing I can't really substitute. I chose to not negate the Veiler, since even without resolving Yama, the endboard is still pretty strong, and I wanted to keep the Phantom for a potential Nibiru. I used the Imperm on the normal summon, which against Voiceless Voice is always a little bit risky. If they have the right extenders in hand, they can just ignore it completely, and if they have Zauravis, they can negate that. Later on in their combo, you can't really target anything anymore, so I just decided to try my luck and it worked out. But to be fair, I still had all of my interactions on the field live, I had Ghost Ogre in my hand, the game is over anyways, even if his hand was godlike. Voiceless Voice isn't beating the YUBEL endboard, it's just not happening.
Let's duel. Grout Samsara Lotus! I fusion summon a monster! I activate my Continue spell. I fusion summon a monster!
Game 2 was definitely more difficult. He played through my 2 hand traps by normal summoning into the Melodios engine, and after I saw the IP plus Apo end board, I got really scared. My hand wasn't really good enough to play through multiple hand traps or even one. I mean, yeah, I had Droplet to deal with Apo and IP, but that doesn't matter if I can't play anyways. Of course, I still tried my luck and normal summoned Samsara, and then the worst case happened for me. Imperm. I had no other choice than to fall back, link 1 into Mirage and fuse into Phantom, combined with the set Droplet. I just hoped to live another turn by doing that. Then something funny happened. He linked into Access Code, and of course, on resolution of Access Code's first effect, I wanted to use Droplet. But it turns out that in the game's settings, I had the wrong chain configuration active, so the game wouldn't let me respond to Access Code on resolution. I was pretty scared. He then popped the Phantom, which came surprising to me, probably because he didn't knew that Nightmare Throne works with Phantom. Since Phantom of YUBEL is a level 9 monster, if it gets removed by any other means than battle, you can use Nightmare Throne to float into Spirit or OG YUBEL. In my case, of course, Spirit is way better since it allowed me to grab follow-up in form of Nightmare Pain. In the following turn I had enough gas to do whatever I want, and I trivialized Nip by using Phantom. Nibiru is really bad post-Phantom against YUBEL. I think he realized that I just have too much stuff, and he conceded by using Imperm on Terra Incarnate. Then I just kept it simple, put enough damage to the board and go for lethal. Oh boy, Phantom is broken, and the more I play with it, the more I can't imagine a world without it. Luckily, it's Phantom's release week. See ya.